Welcome to SUSD Spotlight, your go-to source for all things happening within the district. Whether it's celebrating student and staff achievements, delving into trending education topics, or highlighting inspiring human interest stories, we've got you covered. Join us as we illuminate the incredible endeavors taking place in our schools and forge connections within our community. Get ready to be informed, inspired, and engaged as we embark on this journey together, spotlighting the extraordinary in SUSD. Welcome to another edition of SUSD Spotlight. Today we're really excited to highlight Copper Ridge, serving students pre-K through 8th grade. In studio with us is Principal Brittany Walker. She served her first full year this year, and Leah Mitchell, Assistant Superintendent for Education Services. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Brittany, so our listeners can get a sense of who you are and why you came to Scottsdale. Maybe you can talk to us about your educational background and what brought you to Copper Ridge.
Absolutely. So most of my experience is with charter schools. My previous experience before coming over to Scottsdale Unified School District, I was a principal at a basis charter school in Scottsdale, and I was principal for 5 years. And then before that, I served as an assistant principal for middle, high school, and then a K-8 school prior to that. I have teaching experience, kindergarten through 5th grade, so in elementary. I have had all my experience at charter, and so I was very interested to cross over to public school and gain some experience and insight, specifically with Scottsdale Unified School District. My kids attend schools within Scottsdale Unified School District, and I started seeing all of the amazing things that they do at their elementary school, and so that was one of the driving factors of wanting to be a part of the amazing things that SUSD has to offer.
So as we get close to the end of the first year, what have you learned? What surprised you about the experience, and what have you enjoyed the most about the job?
So I have learned a lot. It's been a very rewarding and fulfilling school year, especially nearing the end of the school year. It has gone by very quickly. At the beginning of the year, I met with every teacher, staff, some of our key community members, and then really got to know our families and our parents as well. And I heard feedback of what was working, what needed to be changed. And so taking in all of that feedback, we, myself and our staff really came together, and we wanted to set a vision for the school based off of that. And so we also set a theme, which was one team, one dream. We worked really hard on coming together and creating values that were shared values, coming together to create shared goals, whole school goals as well as grade level goals, and then I had our teachers and staff do personal goals so that everything was aligned and set for the school year. And I think, reflecting back, there has been so much growth with students, with teachers, and even myself as a leader. Of course, it's always challenging coming into a school, especially a pre-K through 8th grade school, where you have elementary and middle school, trying to understand the community, trying to understand a brand new district and the curriculum, and then, getting to know your teachers, that there's a mutual trust between myself and the teachers. And so reflecting back, I think it's just been a great year of growth and accomplishment. I was just looking at our students' test scores from FastBridge. I excel in benchmarks, and the students have made so much growth. It's incredible to see, and we have some amazing teachers to thank for that as well. But overall, it's just been a year of growth, and it's been very rewarding to reflect back.
And what sets Copper Ridge apart? I know that when I visit the campus, one of the things I notice is your students have uniforms. What other things are unique to Copper Ridge that might be a draw for parents who are looking for an option for their child?
Yes, we are a uniform school. We are pre-K through 8th grade, which I feel like is very unique because it really builds up that culture. We have students on our campus for 10 years. And so there's really, no transition after 5th grade. You just go right over to the next building for middle school. And looking at the campus as a whole, you can tell that community is really built up, and students have friendships that are really built up because of the amount of years that they have been at that same school. Another thing that's really unique is our teachers. Some of our teachers have been teaching at Copper Ridge since the school was opened in 2001, and they're still there. And so I think, having teacher retention and the teachers know the families very well is something that is very positive, and it's a great attribute to have at a school.
So we talk about Scottsdale unified but not uniform. We have a lot of different opportunities for our parents to make choices based on what the interests of their students are. Leah, can you talk about some of the emerging opportunities for how we can elevate excellence in Copper Ridge?
Absolutely. Love the opportunity. And I just have to say, Principal Walker, you have done incredible things. Learning and growth is what we're all experiencing, and getting excited about a really solid community of care and the opportunity to elevate excellence when it comes to academic rigor. Our families throughout Scottsdale Unified tell us time and time again that's why they're here. They love academic excellence. They want high expectations. And so we're incredibly proud to partner with Copper Ridge, with Principal Walker and her incredible teachers, to launch a new program for the 25-26 school year, where we will be welcoming all 6th graders and all 7th graders into honors level coursework for English language arts, science, and social studies. Everything we know about the students at Copper Ridge tells us high expectations, high levels of support, those exist there, which means through curriculum and through coursework, we have the opportunity to really set students up for an elevated level of success. And so Principal Walker has done some incredible work with her teachers, really coming to consensus on this programming as something they believe they can do it, they know their kids can do it, and then leaning in and listening with the families, sharing their ideas, listening to their concerns, and really striking that just right balance for elevating excellence while also delivering on the expectations, the memories, and the traditions that so many of those families have their sights set on being there for 10 years. So we're incredibly excited to elevate excellence in academics at Copper Ridge.
How does this change the opportunity that students have today, now moving forward?
Oh, yeah. Well, it changes how kids feel about themselves when kids inevitably will rise to our expectations. And so here in the great state of Arizona, the standards for honors level and standard level courses are actually the same. And so what it does is not only does it strengthen the opportunity for students to be in classes with all the types of kids that they'll see and exist within their communities, it also ensures that our teachers have the supports that they need to be hosting critical thinking conversations, to do project and problem-based learning experiences that allow children to collaborate with peers, use tools that are innovative, and chart their own course. This sets students up also for great progressions in high school. When you've tried and succeeded in honors level courses in middle school, you'll do it in high school. And every ounce of research and evidence tells us students, when they try and are successful, will try and try and try again. That then translates to college level course credits that our students leave with when they cross the stage with their diploma, which is dollars savings to families, but also great experiences for kids. And so as we partner with Copper Ridge and we see the incredible feeder patterns, the places at Chaparral or Saguaro or Coronado or Desert Mountain or any of our high schools that our kids are heading to, they have the skills, they can access the most rigorous courses, and they can cross that stage with those industry certifications and college credits. So we're excited.
Yes. I did also want to add this is directly in line with some of our school goals that we created this year, and we'll hopefully move on until next year, is really creating a culture of accountability and achievement was one thing that we focused on this year. We implemented a lot of different strategies to really up the rigor. We had IXL challenges. I met with the teachers on a weekly basis to really have professional learning communities that we're focused on data and looking at our students' data and setting goals for our students. And so this new pilot program, I think, is going to be a great fit for our middle school students, specifically 6th and 7th next year, because it is aligned with, creating a culture of achievement and celebrating our students' successes and really increasing rigor and holding the bar high.
Have you heard from students? Have students had a chance to respond or weigh in on this opportunity too?
They have, yes. I think that's really important. We have to have student buy-in. The majority of the community wants our students, staff, families, students, they all want this. They all want to have high expectations. They know they're capable of it. So when we surveyed the students, the majority of 6th and 7th grade students were very excited. They often said sometimes that they were bored, and so they're really excited about having hands-on projects. We are working with our teachers and providing a comprehensive professional development plan. So that really a lot of what's going on in the classroom is going to be project-based learning, getting our students to reason and reflect and critically think. So I think it's going to be a very enriching and exciting opportunity for our students and our teachers.
So while it might seem like a small change, how do you make that jump from this is for an exclusive few to being inclusive for all without creating an environment that waters down honors?
So we have to look, at our students as a whole, and we did receive some feedback from parents that were concerned that have gifted students and that had been previously in honors, specifically either 7th or 8th graders. And so we really worked as a team and collaborated together on how we can make sure that each student is reaching their highest potential. And so we looked at potentially what we could offer our gifted students. And so looking at the gifted program in middle school, we are going to be offering them a advisory period, which we call WIN, which is what I need, specific to a gifted cluster, so that we can really take their learning to the next level. And then we also are going to offer at the end of each semester a capstone project that will really be across the disciplines, a project that includes all different subjects. The teachers will work together on it, and that will be an option for our gifted students to opt into if they want that additional challenge. And then for some of our students who maybe express concern that now they're immersed into this honors class and they're worried, what if they feel like they're behind or struggling, we are really working with our teachers on what that differentiation should look like in the class so that we can make sure we are meeting the needs of all of our learners.
Yeah, I would agree with everything Principal Walker said, and as well as responding to some of the challenges or concerns from families, we have to also help educate our families on gifted services and gifted support is not only through honors level courses. And so especially in middle school and in adolescence, what's happening in our children's brains and their bodies is so different. And so really thinking about how we can construct gifted supports and services that uphold academic expectations and high rigor, but also help children learn regulation strategies, learn how to deal through frustrations. These are the types of things we start to see in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students, especially those who are gifted, is they start to deal with their own interpersonal decision-making that is maybe not it's the first time they're experiencing it. And so in order to support those families and many of the families at Copper Ridge, we're also making sure they're aware of what gifted education is. It is definitely high rigorous expectations, advanced level coursework, and constructed programming that meets their needs, is specifically dedicated to accelerating and supporting students, but also giving them the academic and social behavior skills that help them feel successful every day at school.
And you said this is starting with 6th and 7th grade next year. Is the idea then that it expand to 8th grade?
Yes, absolutely. If we see that it's successful and a good fit for Copper Ridge, then we would expand it to 8th grade the following year.
So culture and climate is really important in terms of attracting and retaining both students and staff. What makes Copper Ridge special? What are the kinds of things that you offer to create a family feel on the campus of Copper Ridge?
Yeah, we do a lot of community events. We have a great PTO that supports our teachers and staff. They also come together and they hold many different events throughout the year. So we had our fall carnival on our campus, and we open that up to the entire community. So anyone can come in DC Ranch or the surrounding neighborhoods. Another one of our signature events is the Art and Garden Walk, and that is really an event that showcases the different arts and performing arts. Our students perform from what they've been learning in band and strings and choir. We did something that was really cool and kind of brought the community together at the Art and Garden Walk. Every member of the school community represented themselves on this template that looked like a person, but they decorated themselves. And then PTO put it on a huge board. And so it was a great reflection of everyone within the school community coming together and representing themselves as one school community and one team on an entire board at the Art and Garden Walk. And so there's just a lot of different events throughout the year that really set that tone and set the culture that we are one community working together towards the same shared and common goals.
The Art and Garden Walk is especially unique to your campus because your campus is unlike any of our other school buildings.
Yes.
The way it was really built into the community and part of DC Ranch and the sort of the master plan, it's just beautiful. Can you speak a little bit to just that make and feel of the building and then how it is how you do manage to accommodate the littles, the pre-K and the 8th grade?
Yeah, we have a very large campus, which is actually, that's what support the learning. Every grade level kind of has their own cohort. So one building is our elementary building where we have pre-K and kindergarten all in one hallway, and then first grade in a hallway, second and third. And then we have a 4th and 5th grade wing on a different part of the school. And then middle school has their own building, which is 2 floors. And then in the center of our campus, which is an outdoor campus. It's beautifully right in the middle of the desert with the mountains in the background is our school garden. And that's something that we're known for as well. We actually have a teacher who has since retired but comes back to work with our 5th grade students and teachers to really build up the garden and teach the students about gardening. And so it's a beautiful campus right in the center, or a beautiful garden right in the center of campus. That is a spotlight of the campus. I mean, we have vegetables growing in there, flowers, wildflowers. We have a bench in the middle of the garden, so it's kind of like a peaceful place for students and families to enjoy. And then at the Art and Garden Walk, we also had picked vegetables for the families to enjoy at the Art and Garden Walk as well. And so we also have a full-size gym for our middle school students. They do PE in there as well as athletics after school. We have a field on campus, and we also have the fields in the back of the campus and a garden in the back of the campus, which we're trying to get up and running. Recently, we met with Blue Zone's representative, and so we hope to get that up and running, that initiative next year. That'll kind of tie into both of our school gardens.
And families, I would imagine you'd invite them for a tour because it really
Absolutely.
is
Yes.
quite something.
I currently give tours every Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m., but we are open to scheduling tours at any time. So we do encourage families to come and tour the beautiful school that we have. We also have implemented something new this year, which is shadow days, and that has been very successful. We have elementary students as well as middle school students spend half a day on our campus. We do pair them up with a student ambassador, and they get to experience really, the ins and outs of the day and the culture of the campus, and they get to meet other students and teachers, and so that's been a huge success for us.
It's exciting to hear the ways that you're working to elevate excellence at Copper Ridge and introducing the expanded honors opportunities for students. Thank you so much for sharing that. At the end of every podcast, I like to ask my guests if there's a particular teacher or educator in your career who's made a difference. We always want to celebrate the profession and give you an opportunity to give a shout out to someone who made a difference in your life.
Yeah, I would say I would choose a teacher actually on my campus currently, Miss Jill Girding. She teaches 6th and 7th grade language arts. I mean, from the minute that I stepped onto that campus, she came with open arms. She's very supportive of my leadership, and she is very involved with the teachers, with the students, and the families. She serves in a teacher instructional leader position, so she's looked upon as a leader as well. But anytime I go into her classroom, you can truly feel that she has all of the students' best interest at heart. She does everything she can to support the students as well as Copper Ridge. She's been there for many, many years. And so it's just been great to really build a relationship with a teacher that has been so supportive of all of my efforts on campus.
That's fantastic.
Oh, that's a great answer, Ms. Girding. Absolutely models excellence. Yes. I'm thinking today about Coach Lieneman. He was my Algebra 2 teacher in high school. He's the first teacher that, one, told me I am a math person, because I also listened to a lot of people or my own self telling me I was not. And he also invited me and encouraged me to pursue advanced level coursework. It was the first time in my high school career I ever had a teacher look at me and say, I think you can do this. You can do it. And what that did for my own esteem and my own confidence as a student, I mean, it just was a game changer. He thought I could do it. I thought I could do it. And then I spent the rest of my educational career, even today, trying things that I think maybe I can do, because he believed in me and he showed me that, yeah, you're doing what everybody else is doing. There's no reason for you not to sign up for that class.
Great stories. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, and we want to thank our listeners for tuning in to this episode of SUSD Spotlight. And of course, if you have any ideas for future episodes, you can pitch them to us on our website, susd.org/spotlight.